Because not audible properly. Be louder.
Okay, sir. Okay. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, yes. Continue.
Now it is audible, sir.
Audible, but be louder.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Continue, continue.
Okay. So it is very difficult to meet the demand with conventional power generation because they are depletable and emit greenhouse gases. So in order to address this issue, renewable energy sources have grabbed the attention of the world as an alternative resources, and microgrids are one such solution to address the energy crisis with the use of renewable energy sources. And India is positioned fourth in terms of renewable power capacity. Here figure 1 shows the carbon dioxide emissions by several countries. So here you can observe, one can understand that the developed countries release more carbon dioxide emissions. And next slide. Here you can see I'm talking about the new interface. Actually, in previous we can see in our conventional grid, so many synchronous generators are there. They are operated in parallel. But in future, we are expecting the new interfaces. We are replacing that. Actually, nowadays, the conventional resources are dominant. The renewable energy sources are less. So in future, the renewable energy sources dominate the conventional power generation. So so here the new interface is we will replace that synchronous generators with these inverters, but the rating of the inverter now I'm showing the scaling. So, but in conventional synchronous generator, the rating is very high. For example, 210 megawatt, 500 megawatt, 1000 megawatt. But the rating of the inverter is almost 1 megawatt to maximum 2 megawatt. So we have to scale those things to match the rating of the system. And location. We know the location of the synchronous generator in conventional power system, and the inverter's location is near to distribution low voltage and medium voltage distribution level. And going to, yeah, this is the present power system architecture and future power system architecture. Here one can understand that now the power is mostly generated from the thermal power plants and hydel power plants. Are the most of the generators are synchronous generators, but in future most of the energy come from the renewable energy sources. So the left side is present power system architecture. The right side one, the right side one is the future microgrid. It will look like this. Coming to implementation of the inverters. So here you can understand the implementation of the inverter. After filter, we can measure the voltage and current signals, and it will the analog to digital converter will convert the analog signal into digital, and the microprocessor will process the signals, and it will give the pulse width modulation signals to the power semiconductors, and it will give the desired amplitude and frequency of the output of the inverter. Yeah, and before going to droop control, the main first I will explain about the inner voltage and current loops. So the inner voltage and current loops are very important. Actually, there is two types of inverters are there. One is grid supporting and grid forming. Actually, nowadays the government is giving permission to for only grid supporting or grid following inverters only. In grid following inverters, just there is one PLL. It will give the information regarding that voltage and phase frequency and the phase angle. So accordingly, it will inject some desired active and reactive power into the grid. But in future, our inverters will dominate that synchronous generator. So we have to form a grid by using these voltage source converters or voltage source inverter. So now I am talking about the one islanded inverter. In this, how the current loop will work, how the voltage loop, and how to for parallel operation, which control method we will use. That those things I will explain. In this from figure 2, you see this is just three-phase voltage source converter with LC filter. Here LF is the filter inductor and CF is the filter capacitor, and this RF Ron is the on-state resistance of the switch, and ohmic loss of the inductor, ohmic loss of the inductor and ohmic loss of the switch, and this is the DC supply. And yeah, first I will explain about the current control loop. So for that, yeah, here applying KVL across the three-phase filter inductor, we can get equation 1. So applying KVL across the filter inductor. Now see here that the terminal voltage is VTA and here the PCC voltage is VSA. So if you apply KVL, the VTA minus VSA equal to LF into DIA by dt plus IA into that equivalent resistance. You can see in equation 1. Then we are going to transform those equations from ABC to DQ frame. So why we are going to ABC to DQ frame is, so the PI controller is not able to follow a sinusoidal reference without error. So we can lose the simplicity and robustness of the PI controller. So that's why we are transforming this ABC2 in DQ. In DQ frame, those signals are in DC. That's why we can utilize the PI controller easily. Yeah, here the equation 2 shows the equation 1 in a DQ frame. And after performing Laplace transform on the equations, so we can get the equation 3. The equation 3 shows the physical system equations, and equation 4 shows the control law. This control law you can understand from the next slide. In that block, the current control block diagram, I will explain the briefly how this control law we are designed and why we are taking these equations. These things you can understand from the block diagram, and the relation between the input and output in an inverter we know, just V equal to M into VDC by 2. Like in buck converter we know the output is D into VDC, V out equal to D into V in. Similarly here also the output voltage is equal to M into VDC by 2. M is the modulation index. Here the figure 3 shows the control block diagram of the current control voltage source converter in the DQ reference frame. So here the red box shows the physical system, AC side dynamics. Yeah, you know, already I shown the how these equations came. First we are applying KVL, then we are transforming into D2, then we are applying Laplace transform. So from these equations you can see here the ID is depending upon the IQ, and here also the IQ is depending upon the ID. So there is a coupling between the state variable. So we have to eliminate that coupling. So the controller can do. In the control law, where first decoupling term is there. Actually, the controller will give one control signal. You can see here the some PI controller is there. It will give one control signal, but we are adding some two feed forward schemes are there. This one is one feed forward scheme, and another one is this one is the another feed forward scheme. So in this control law, we are putting two extra terms. One is decoupling term and another one is disturbance term. The VSD of S is the disturbance. So for example, some load is changed, the VSD will change. So by this, because of this feed forward path, the controller can immediately understand something is there. So it can act immediately. So by this feed forward technique, the response of the system is fast. If you can remove this you can remove this term and you can run, but you can understand the difference between this feed forward term and without feed forward term. You can understand the system response, how much time it will take. You can see. So this feed forward scheme used to improve the system response, and this feed forward scheme is used to decouple the here IQ. The ID is depending upon the IQ. There is a coupling between the terms. So this feed forward scheme is used to decouple the terms. So once you decouple it, then you can imagine, just I am decoupling that term. You can see here this multi-input multi-output system will become a two individual single input single output systems. So that's why the control law, the control law main target is to eliminate the coupling between the terms and for fast system response. That's why these equations came. And the 2 by VDC is, you can understand, just that is the gain of the voltage source converter. We know already the VT equal to M into VDC by 2. That gain we are adding here. Just this is just scaling. Yes, I think you understand this. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. In voltage control block also similar to like this. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Okay, I think you have understand properly. Okay, next I'm going to next slide. Yes, I told you the multi-input system, multi-input multi-output system become two individual single input single output systems. Next slide I will explain the how to design these compensator parameters. And you can see the KD here, the KD and KQ are the two PI compensators. That is, hello.
Because
Okay.
you please carry on.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So here the KD and KQ are the PI compensator. Those are KPC plus KIC by S. And the open loop gain of the closed loop system, you can see here, you can understand this is open loop. From this system you can get this open loop gain of this closed loop system. And the closed loop transfer function of the system you can see in equation 9. Here see the relation, the tau I is LF by KPC. So the KP and KI values depending upon the filter parameters and the time constant of the system. Yeah, tau Y is LF by KPC. So typically the range of the time constant is 0.5 to 5 milliseconds. Suppose if I am taking LF is 8 millihenry and the equivalent resistance is 32 milliohm and the tau I is 1 millisecond. Now you can see the KPC is equal to LF by TI. So the KP value is 8 and the KI, we can get the KI relation also, some RF plus R1 by TI. So the KI value is 32. So based on the filter parameters, we can get these KP KI values. So I think you understand these KP KI values in current control loop. Then now I will go to the next loop, voltage control loop. And here the ID reference and IQ reference come from the voltage control loop. Now I'm going to explain about the voltage control loop. Yeah, here it is the same diagram. Here I am applying KCL at the three-phase AC filter capacitor. Now apply KCL here. Here apply KCL, IA equal to IFA plus the load side current ILA. So same, IFA equal to IA minus ILA. The IF is the CF into dV by dt. We know all these basics. So similarly here also we can get these equations in ABC frame. Now we are converting to ABC to DQ, and in the same way, then I'm transforming, then I'm designing another control law for decide for specific voltage and frequency. And similarly, already we derived the closed loop voltage source current transfer function in the previous slides that I have taken here in 17. Yeah, the same block diagram. Here also, this is the physical system, AC filter capacitor dynamics. So here the VSD and VSQ are coupled. In the physical system, there is coupling between the variables. So you can see here also I'm eliminating this coupling term. Then I'm adding another feed forward scheme is I'm understand that if ILD will give the, for example, the load is increased, load is decreased, something is happening in load side, it can immediately understand that because of this feed forward scheme immediately. So the system response will increase. Same, and the feed forward scheme is like I explained in the current control block diagram. Here also same thing. And this closed loop voltage source current control already we have derived in the previous slides. Directly I am putting this thing here. And this how to derive this control law of the voltage control we can understand from here, because one is here just if any controller will give the just control signal UVD, but here we are adding one or two more two elements here to decouple. For decoupling means the multi-input multi-output system will become single input to individual single input single output system, and because of that these feed forward scheme to improve the system response. Same way like current control scheme. Now yeah, this is two individual single input single output system. Here also two PI compensators is there. I will show the how to design these compensators in this slide. Yeah, these compensators are just KV, just proportional compensator I have taken. I will why I am taking this only proportional compensator, because you can see the closed loop transfer function of this closed loop system. You can see in 19 there is one pole. Already open loop system is already having one pole at the origin. So one pole at the origin. So it is more than sufficient for the compensator to be pure proportional compensator. So proportional compensator is enough. No need to go for PI compensator. If you want to design a PI compensator also you can go, no issue. And we cannot use pure integral. So if the pure integral, the 1 by s square, the two poles at the origin. So and the closed loop transfer function of the system you can see in the equation 20. Yeah, so here you have the transfer function. So if you have the transfer function, you know the TI value, CF value, so you can get a transfer function with some constant K. So by using seesaw tool, you can get this K proportional constant. How? By using seesaw tool, you can get by using seesaw tool you can draw a, for example, root locus. In root locus, if the gain is varying from 0 to infinity, the characteristic equation poles will vary from one point to another point. If you want to if you want a particular pole location, you can vary the KV value and you can keep maintain that poles at the specific point. Then you can take that KV value. By using seesaw tool, you can design this KV value. And these are the results I will explain from my simulation. After simulation, I will explain the droop control. First, now I am going to show the how to do simulation up to voltage and current loop, voltage loop and current loop. Then first I will explain that those things. I think if possible, you can also open your MATLAB and you try it, and you can then it will be good to you. You can understand easily. And now I'm open Simulink library. These are my components. First I will show the how to design a physical system in MATLAB. First I need a DC voltage source. DC voltage source. Yeah, I have added this DC voltage source to my untitled model. Yes, you can see here. Yeah, scheme. And now I am, the next block is universal. Yeah, this is universal bridge. I'm using, it will act like a three-phase voltage source converter. Yes. Just flip it. Flip this. Stop. Flip. Yeah. Flip block from left to right. Yeah. Now I can easily connect these things. Yes. Here the yes 3 arms and The power electronic devices, I will use the IGBT diodes. Apply. Okay. Yeah, here I will give the pulses here. Then I will use LC filter. Then I will connect one breaker and I will apply some load. Okay, now I will take the, now we have to design a filter. This is my simulator. Yeah, for filter. Before that, I will use one three-phase measurement. Three-phase VM measurement. And I need three-phase series RLC. This RLC branch, for it will act like a filter, and we need RLC load also, and this block also, and so we need ground terminal also. Need ground. Yeah, ground is here. I'm adding the ground, and RLC load I have taken, and three-phase breaker. We need three-phase breaker. Three-phase breaker for three-phase breaker. For adding and removing the loads, we are using this three-phase breaker. I have added this block also. Then I have one voltage measurement. Yeah, I need this block also. And then we need code to and I require this from also. These are just signal routing. And we need power guy also. Power guy. I'm adding power guy also. Yes. First time. I need breaker. I need ground. At terminal, I want to measure the VT and IT. So that's why I'm giving, I will use a label. So label, and I'm giving here some VT, and I will use a current label, some IT ABC. So okay, at terminal, that's why I'm giving IT VT. Yeah. Now I'm connecting the three-phase VI measurement block. It will give the three-phase voltage and current. Yeah, here you want phase to phase or phase to ground, you can select here. So I'm using just phase to ground. Okay. Then I want to connect the, you can see the block diagram of the implementation. This is droop control block. Here also you can see up to now this voltage control and current control is common in both droop and in normal islanding mode. We can use this voltage, and for single inverter no need of droop. For parallel operation, the droop will decide the sharing. So I will explain you later. Just you can see these blocks, this current control and voltage control, and I have connected this DC supply and inverter, then filter, then load. Okay. Now I filter the values I have written already. This is just RL block. The resistance is, and the inductance is 10 milli. Okay, I'm connecting this filter inductor with the equivalent resistance. Now I will, this is load. Now I will take another block for capacitor, filter capacitor. This ground is required first to ground this. Okay, the filter inductor is over and filter capacitor is over. Now I will. Okay, the filter, I connected the filter inductor and filter capacitor. The filter capacitor values are how much? 50. I consider small resistance also. Here also I'm considered just some 5 milli ohm, and this is I think 50 microfarad. So yes, RC is just resistance and 50 microfarad, and the resistance is just I'm considering just 5 milli ohm parasitic resistance, and then I need one more VI measurement for load side or some secondary side. Okay, VS ABC and IS ABC. So it will give the load side, or at point of common coupling it will give the voltage and current. Yeah, I have connected this block. Then we will connect the load. Okay, for load I'm just considering just the output voltage is just 100 volts. For that I'm considering just 240 volts DC supply, and the load parameters also. The nominal voltage, if I'm considering the phase max is 100 volts, I think the RMS voltage is I think some approximately 120, and the frequency is, I want to give the 1 kilo. The inductive is 500 watt, and the capacitance I'm not giving, just RL load. That's it. This is my load. Yeah, this is my load. A to A, connect A to A, B to B, C to B. Then I'm using a three-phase breaker. Yeah, the three-phase breaker will it will be useful for it can break and take the load, and otherwise it can add the load also. Yeah, I'm adding some 500 watt, some 250. I'm just 50% increase load. Yeah, so I want to add this load after, for example, I started my simulation. It is running at 0.3 seconds. I want to, for example, some 0.5 seconds I want to add this load. So you can set the time. Initially it is open. If it is closed, initially closed. So I am putting it as a initially open. Yeah, I'm giving the time at, for example, at 0.4 second, extra load will come, and again at 0.6 seconds the load will be gone. Okay, at in between the time, the secondary the right side of the breaker, some load is there that will come at 0.4 second, and that will disappear at 0.6 seconds. So initially it's open means the load is not connected initially. After 0.4 second it will be connected, and after 0.6 seconds again the breaker will open. That's it. And you can give the external signal also. If it's give, some external signal will come. So that if we are giving that external signal, that time the breaker will on and off based upon the external signal. Now I'm just internally generating two signals to on and off of the breaker. Yeah, that's it. I think this is a physical system. I want to just one second. Yeah. So this is the physical system. Now I am now I have to give this. Mm, now I want to generate pulses. Pulses. Okay. Controller to rotate this block. Yeah. The pulses come from the in physical system. The we know the physical inverter system. The DC comes from some rectifier. You can get the DC supply, and the inverter system is physical. Then you can by using uh, um, current sensor, voltage sensor, you can measure the voltage and currents physically. The filter inductor and filter capacitor we know, and the load also you can give any load. These all the things are physical parts. Now I will discuss about the controller, how to design the controller. First, I in the previous slides I explained the how the what is that the feed forward schemes and two forward schemes. One is the load side voltage we will detect, and the load side current we will detect, and we will use those terms also, that sensor signals also we are using in the controller. And initially for islanding mode you can fix the what is that you can, for example, in this mode I want some 100 volts, the V phase max is 100 volts output side, so I'm expecting 50 Hz. The V phase max is 100 volt that I'm expecting. For that I need to design a controller. So for that we need current control loop and voltage controller, the inner current controller and the outer voltage controller we need. Now I'm talking about that. Now I will show the simulation of the controller part, the how to design this voltage control loop and current control loop in simulation. Now I will explain. Then after that we have VD and MD and MQ, so that we can transform into DQ to ABC, and from that ABC we can design PWM. These now I will show these voltage, and in actually the VD and VQ and this frequency I'm giving some fixed values. For example, now I want to give the VD star is 100, F star is 50. Now I am fixing. I want my output voltage, the amplitude is 100 volts and the frequency is 50. But if I connect two inverters and three inverters, five inverters, they will form a grid. So we need to give signals from some other controller to share the power to individual, how the inverters will share that. For that we need some group control, some advanced controllers we need. But for single inverter in islanding mode and grid connected mode, we no need to these any controller, just up to voltage control loop is sufficient. Okay, in islanding mode, we know the expected voltage and frequency we will define. For grid connected mode, the PLL is there. It will give the information about the phase angle and the voltage amplitude. Accordingly, at that time, the voltage control loop also not required. The current control loop is sufficient to inject some amount of required amount of active and reactive power into the system. For islanding mode, we need the extra loop, that is voltage control loop. For parallel operation, we need extra loop, that is most outer loop is the loop control loop. So that's why in most of the paper they will discuss about the different concepts in group, but they are simply giving these just voltage and current loops. That's it. They will not talk about anything because these are the very basic loops. That's why I'm focusing on these loops. If you understand these voltage and current loops and how to design these um, what is that compensator parameters, then you can understand any paper and you can simulate any paper on group control. So okay, now I will show the simulation of these voltage and current control loops. Okay, for that I'm giving I want for controller. First we need ABC to DQ transformation. ABC to DQ. Okay. First, we need constant temps. I want to give 100 volts and 50 hertz. We need constant block. Yeah, this is constant. I'm giving this, for example, this is VD star, that is, for example, 100 volts, three phase maximum. And I want to give the frequency, that is H. Okay. I'm just normally connecting to create a subsystem. Now I want to create one subsystem. Yeah, create subsystem. Yeah, these are the two inputs. You can remove it. Remove the output out. Here I will create another subsystem. First I will do the, in this another subsystem I will create the this is voltage controller. Voltage controller required the VD star is, put one is the VD star 100 volts and frequency. I need another one input is sufficient. Right. This is just for frequency, for phase angle. In one. Okay. Edge is coming, and you can see here 50 Hz is coming. I need a gain block, then one integrator, then I will get the phase angle. I will show you that thing. I want a gain. First I'm getting the phase angle. Yeah, this is gain block. And I apply OF, then I will use one integrator. Yeah, here integrator is there. Yeah, if you integrate this omega, you can get the theta out, or you can use, yeah, this is, what is this? This is frequency, this is voltage control loop 50, and I want the go-to block. This is phase angle, so, and I want to give globally. I will use this omega t in so many cases. Okay. Yeah. So I actually need this omega t. That's why I first done this thing. Phase angle I got. Once you got the phase angle, now I want to. You can see in, if you see the voltage control loop here, the we need VD. So from VABC we can get VD and VQ. Okay. From this block ABC to DQ, I can get VD VQ. First, for that I need from block. Where is the from? Yeah, here one from is there. I want this block. I need VAD, VD, VQ. So VD, VQ means I think we update. Yeah, I got this VABC. Okay. I want the omega T also. Already omega T is there. I update this thing. You can yeah. Already omega T is there. Here omega T is there. Okay. Yeah. Omega T is there. Okay. Update. Apply. Okay. So I got the omega T. So without this phase angle, we cannot get this VD and VQ. Okay, now I want one mux. Here DQ0. Three things are there. For that I need a mux. Mux, I need a mux. Yeah. A demux we need. Yeah. I want actually the VD, VQ and V0. I don't want the V0. That's why I will terminate that thing. And where is that? Terminator. I don't want this thing, and I want to VDVQ. That we need go to block. Yeah, we need go to block. Go to, yes, one go to block is there, and the go to block for VQ. Yes, this is V is VQ. Okay. Yeah, similarly you can design another thing. Yes, this is ISABC. Okay, ISABC omega T, you can get ID. Yes, and we need IQ. Yes, we can get the VD, VQ, ID, IQ. And we need one more block also, that is just for, we have VTABC also. We need, yeah, sorry, ITABC. So for that, that will give some ITD. And ITQ. These things I will use voltage and current control loops. That's why first I am from the VI measurement from the three phase to now I am converting ABC to DQ. It will give AD and VQ, ID and IQ. You can see this block diagram. I'm fixing the VD star is 100 and the VD is coming from the VSABC. Okay. Similarly, I'm keeping the VQ is actually the VQ reference. I'm keeping 0 for actually you can take actually the VT is depending upon the root over VD square plus VQ square. If you keep the VQ is 0, the whole value will the VT is equal to VD. So for simplicity, I am taking that case. You can take any case. You can take some VD by root 2 and VQ by root 2. Like that also you can take. For simplicity, I am considering the whole output voltage in terms of VD only. Okay. So I think we have less time. So I've already I have designed the whole for voltage and current control and the phase angle. These things already previously I have done my simulation. I will explain you and I will run and I will show some results because the session is up to 1 o'clock. The time is I have limited time, so it is very difficult to show each and every block in the voltage loop, current control loop. That's why already I made a simulation model. Now I will explain the things and I will show some results. Then I will explain briefly about the loop control and then I will conclude the session. Okay. Yeah, see here. Now, yeah, this physical system I told how to design. Okay. Now I'm directly, this is, yeah, this I already explained you for three phase to two phase, we are using these blocks, and actually by using normal integrator, sometimes the result may not come. That's why I'm using this different integrator falling. Okay. You can take a screenshot if you want this one. Okay. Yeah, if you use this one, you can get the results better. Then coming to voltage controller, yeah, you can see here, nothing, this is just nothing but PID, just PID controller. You can search in the library browser, you can get this PID block. You know, this is, I think, sum. Yeah, this is sum. This is also sum. Okay, if you see, yeah, VD, sum is there, PI compensator, and here, what is this? 2 pi FC. Yeah, you can see here. Omega means 2 pi F, 2 pi FC. Okay, this is 2 pi FC. F is here. Okay, 2 pi FC. Similarly, these are the feed forward schemes. So these two you can see. This is one feed forward scheme, and the other one is from this VD. You can get some another feed forward scheme. So from this you can understand this. What is that voltage control loop, and I already explained how to design this KP value. Okay, and come to from this we can get the ID reference and IQ reference. You can see here, you can see from this you can get the ID reference and IQ reference from this voltage control loop. So in this current control loop I get this reference, ID reference and IQ reference from the voltage control loop. And now you can see this block. I already I clearly explained in the slides how to do the how to do this current control block. Here also two feed forward schemes. Okay, same PA compensator. Okay, and this is just for gain, the inverter gain, the output equal to M into VDC by 2. That's why VDC by 2 is coming. Okay, then I think we get MD and MQ here. I want to generate the PWM. This is whole block is PW for PWM pulse generation we are using. We have VD and VQ, and that's why we are using this DQ to ABC. We can get the MA, MB, MC, the modulation indices in A, B, C frame. Yeah, this is directly pulse generator. You can say PW generator. You can get this block. Okay, 3 ohm, 6 pulses I need. 3 ohm bridge we are using. Okay, and this unit delay. I think you can get this. Yeah, these pulses. This is go to block, and this is the from block from this controller. Actually, in physical, actually in future, what is their plan is there is one inverter, there is one microcontroller, and another inverter, another microcontroller, another inverter, another microcontroller, and they will form a grid. Like now the grid is there, all synchronous generators connected in parallel, they are operating properly. But in future, their plan is to now there is this technique is not existing in physical, and the government the standards also not these voltage source inverters till now didn't meet the standards of the what is that grid connected system. So we cannot connect to the grid, so we have to first meet the standards. So in the final slides I will explain the what is required to form a microgrid, to form a grid by using the voltage source inverter. Okay, and this controller we will implement in the what is that microcontroller, and by using sensors we can get the voltage and currents, and then we can convert to analog to digital. In that and the microcontroller will operate in digital form, then it will give the pulses. Then we will use some gate drivers, that is those are physical systems. The gate drivers will drive that in the digital platform everything is just signal level. There is it will give just signal, but it cannot operate anything, just that strength is very less. That's why the one pulses in digital level, but the gate driver can drive. The gate driver is power level. It can drive the inverter, but the signal can, if you give the direct signal, the inverter cannot operate. So some gate drivers are required. So yeah, I think you have understand all these things. Now I want to explain about how this actually. Yeah, first I will run this thing and I will explain. Yeah, you can explain. This is doc block. This is just for if you want to save any data here, you can save here and you can copy. I'm just saving the data of L and C. I can copy here, Control C, and paste in the command window. Yeah, I already copy and paste it. So that block is useful for saving any data. And here the I'm giving just discrete level. So if you want to go for hardware, you have to do the simulation in fixed step only. So that's why the sample in fixed step, the sampling time is here the sample time is 1 microsecond, and you can see it is fixed step or variable step by from the configuration parameters. You can see configuration parameters here. This is fixed step. I'm using the solver is OD3, and here also the step size is 1 microsecond. So the problem is the microcontroller still now there is it is very difficult to get this 1 microseconds. This step size is very difficult with some that's why the what is that the experts rethink about these microcontrollers to give the best microcontrollers. Those are suitable for the grid forming inverters. Yeah, if the step size is high, so these microcontrollers can unable to give the pulses properly. So much research is required to frame a inverter based microgrid. That microgrid will mimic the what is that our conventional grid. So it is very difficult. So many things are there to meet these things. Okay, these are just in research level. What I am telling is, okay, I think okay, you can see here the measurement blocks are there. You can see VABC. Yeah, I'm applying at 50% load change at 0.4 seconds, and again at 0.2 seconds I'm applied some load, and at 0.4 seconds I'm removing the load. Okay, you can see the voltage immediate. Yeah, you can the perfectly sinusoidal, and you can check the frequency also. Check. So 0.115 to 0.25, yeah, 20 milliseconds, yeah, 50 Hz. Okay, and you can see within this VD, you can see VD, you can clearly understand. Yeah, I told already I'm the VQ is 0 and the VD is 100. If the load is changed, the dip is there, and if the load is changed again, dip is there, not dip, the increment is there. Okay, VD, VQ, and if you want to see the ID, IQ, if the load is increased means the current will increase. You can see here, yeah, the ID. If the load is changed, ID is increased. Okay, yeah, then that's it. You can see the line voltage here. This is line voltage within 1 cycle, 2 cycle. Within 2 cycles, it will reach the steady state value. The controller is very fast. Okay. Yeah, this is the simulation of the single inverter in islanding mode, and you can connect it to grid connected also. And now I want to, why I am telling about only islanding means, now we are talking about the grid forming inverters, not grid following or grid supporting. We are talking about grid forming. Grid forming means these inverters will operate in parallelly, and these will make a grid that will mimic our conventional grid. That is the objective of this presentation. Yeah, now I will go to the simulation. Yeah, droop control. The droop control is realized by simulating the characteristic, the droop characteristics of the conventional synchronous generator, and the controlling the output voltage and frequency of the voltage source inverter according to the variation of output power. and this control strategy is based on the inverter parallel connection technology, and the benefits are simple reliability and high flexibility. And from equation 21 and 22, you can see I think you know these relations, frequency and active power, and voltage and reactive power droop relations already you aware, but you don't know how to implement these things. Now I'm going to show the implementation. Yes, but based on those equations you can implement these things simply. I will show you how to implement these things also. I'm going to show some results regarding. I will take two inverters connected in parallel and there is a common load, and changing the load, what will happen you can see at 0.4 to 0.2 I'm changing the load, and how the inverters will share the currents. This is the load current is sum of these two inverters current. Here you can see the load disturbance, and this is my terminal voltage. Okay, it is the two inverters are synchronizing, and there is dip. If the load is changed, the small dip is there. Okay, and these I have published one paper on ITWS. You can, if you want to know about Droop and VSM and any other control, I am compared three control strategies. These three control strategies are the major controllers for grid forming. The so much research is going on this area, Droop control and the synchro converters and these oscillator controls. These are the main three controllers for grid forming by using voltage source inverter. If you interested, you can go through my paper. And the limitation of this Droop control is if the sudden change in the active power, the frequency will suddenly fall down. The frequency will fall down means the rate of change of frequency is high. So in a conventional power system, if there is change in the frequency, suddenly the rate of change of frequency is more, there is a chance to trip the circuit breaker. It will think like it is a fault and it will trip. So the frequency will not fall suddenly. So this is the limitation. Now I want to explain how to do the simulation of this Droop control and power management. First we will see the Droop control. This is the Droop control block diagram. This diagram I am taken from this recently published in August 2021. The National University Singapore, the authors published one paper, and they are talking about these Droop control inverters as an educational control design project. They developed one course on this parallel inverter technology. They are considering three-phase inverters, and they are connected in parallel. In that National University Singapore, in their laboratory, they build a setup that is actually in BTech we are studying about these conventional power systems and conventional power systems protections, power system analysis, but we don't know the what is that. At that time we didn't study regarding this voltage source inverter technology. So they are making a power system, the small model. In that there is no synchronous generators. The inverters will mimic the synchronous generator to form a grid. Okay, they made a course. I think some EE something. They made a course on this inverter technology. And if you are interested, you can go through this paper. You can understand. And from that paper, I have taken this block diagram. So if I implement this in simulation, you can understand. This is the recent paper. If you want to, if you are able to develop this model, I think you will you can able to develop any model from any transaction paper. Hope so. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, this is the simulation model. You can see this and this Droop control block. You can see here. This is the Droop control. First, I measured active power and reactive power. From the active power, this is frequency now. So the frequency active power Droop is there. If we got this F reference, I already explained how to get the phase angle. Already in the previous slides, I explained. If you know the if you know the F reference, you can get the phase angle. If you get the V reference, you can directly give this V reference to the voltage control block. Then the voltage control block will give the what is that ID reference and IQ reference. So first for that, how to measure this PM and QM? Here you can see he clearly explained in the block diagram, yeah, power, how to do the power management. You can see this block. Actually in DQ frame, the power is, I think 3 by 2 into VDID plus VQIQ, that is active power, and the reactive power is 3 by 2 into minus VD into IQ plus VQ into ID. Okay, this from this slide you can understand in the simulation how to get this PM and QM, and how to from the how to here you can understand this how to do the droop control. Okay, yeah, I think if you are interested you can go through this reference 5. From that you can take the all parameter values and you can try to implement. I have explained clearly the voltage and current control loops, and I have already I explained this how to get the PM and QM and how to derive the F reference and V reference. If you download that paper and you try to implement by your own, then you can get the confidence and you will understand. I think you can get more confidence. If you read any Droop paper, you can understand easily and you can implement easily. And these are my references. And before concluding this session, I want to explain about some major challenges. Actually, our goal is to to transform the conventional power system into some new power system. That in that new power system we are replacing the synchronous generators with voltage source inverters. So the main challenge is protection. The synchronous machines to provide a relatively large short circuit current to trip off the for protection. It can what is that? It can withstand. But while power electronics are the semiconductor device that are used to create them, they cannot handle large overcurrents. So we have to rethink how protection is done, and the fault right through. It is another issue, particularly in grid forming inverters, because they act like voltage sources. The voltage source inverter act like a voltage source. If there is a fault, what will happen? There is a dead short circuit. The huge currents will flow. So the fault right through is also very difficult. So can't provide very large amount of currents for extended time without damaging those converters. So we have to rethink how fault right through has done with these new types of controllers. That will also, there is a future scope and modeling and simulation. For 2-3 inverters we can model and we can connect in parallel. We will add some load, we can create some small fault, we can do some simulations. But in real time the system is big. You can imagine our grid is how big, how many synchronous generators operating in parallelly, how they are sharing, how the protection is going. To design this bulk system, this is also very difficult. So we have to the researcher should think about this. And the standards, now the standard is, if you have one voltage source inverter, you cannot directly connect to the grid. There is some standards, and the all standards are conflicting this voltage source inverter. If it is current source inverter, the current is fixed. So there is that the standards, the current source inverter meets the standards. So that's why we can connect the already we are connecting already. So by using current source inverter, not voltage source inverter. The voltage source inverter will act like voltage source. There is a huge what is that, huge current will flow. The inverter, the device, the power semiconductor, the power electronic devices may damage. Okay, these are the major challenges. Yeah, these are the major challenges up to with my limited knowledge. Okay, and thank you. Okay.
Because
Sir, is there any
some
question?
question has come from the audience. If you have any questions, one question is come. Uh, could you give inputs on how to set the VD reference value?
Sir, VD.
You check the means chat box, so you can also say.
Okay. Chat box.
I'm also requesting the participants. If you have any queries, you please type it here, so we can also explain on it.
Sir, could you give inputs on how to set the VD reference value? Yeah, VD reference is nothing but in islanding mode. For example, in single phase, what do you want? You want 230 volts. In VD reference is, I told the input output relation is M into VDC by 2. For example, M is say for example 1, the VDC is 200, VDC by 2. So the V phase maximum is 100. So if you want 230, accordingly you can set the VDC value and you can set the modulation index, and that is your VD. Actually, I told the Vs equal to root over Vd square plus Vq square. I am here in this case. I said the Vq is 0, so the Vd is Vs. If Vs means what? Your desired output voltage. Okay, I am just considering 100 volts just for low. I want to do hardware. That's why I'm just considering low voltage. So you can go for 415, no problem for 3 phase. You can take standard values, the VDs. Okay, any other? I think only one question.
Any other queries from the participation ends? Is there any other query?
Hello. Hello.
This is Sharmanik.
Is
Yes.
it audible, sir?
Yes, you
Yes,
are
yes.
audible.
Sir, why you haven't shown that droop nature of that current? How it is showing in multiple inverters? Can you elaborate it?
Okay.
This one, sir.
Yeah. So if you here you can see the droop constant. You can understand if you one is 0.6 and 0.3. So the droop constants in 1:2 ratio. So that's why my currents also here 1:2 ratio. If you keep it 1:1, your currents will be same. So based on these droop coefficients, you can get the sharing like conventional power systems. You know, I think if you just this is simple. I think yeah, you go through just normal. Why if you go through the conventional synchronous machine, how they are sharing the same way. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, is there any other query? Please ask. Is there any other queries from the participation end? Okay, so I hope there is no queries, any more queries from the participation end. Okay, so thank you, Bikash, for delivering about your work in this tutorial sessions. Also, I'm thanking all the participants for their patience to attending for our first sessions and the tutorial one. Okay, first tutorial. Okay, so we'll start our next sessions around 4 p.m. Okay, so I'm also, yes, we'll start our next sessions on 4 p.m.